Welcome back to another episode of Kate and Isaiah Living Large. I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Kate.
And in this episode, we're going to look at the positive side of being large and what positive things have come from it. But before we begin, what's new? What's the hap? I know you just finished a lovely Crystal Beach set. How was it?
Yeah, it was awesome. I did a comedy show on Crystal Beach last night and, well, 3 or 4 days ago when you hear this. And it was a super fun night. It's the second year in a row I've done this show. And I just love it there. The people are so nice and it's outside and it's late. And it just feels like it's, you know, an unlikely place for comedy, but a very conducive place for comedy. And the weather was perfect. And it was awesome. I also came from a family reunion yesterday, which is really great to see my family all gathered in Moncton. And so that was... It was my mom's side of the family, and everybody was asking about the podcast and comedy and stuff. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
How about you? What's new with you?
Well, I mean, first off, beaches and beach and like anything performative to me just screams concert. That's all I think about.
I know it's strange because everybody like brings their own campfire chair, and they're just, you know, and they're pretty regular crew at Crystal Beach because they've got a lot of people who have trailers and cabins there and seasonal folks. So they're looking for stuff to do.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting. No, for me, I've not really a whole lot new to talk about at the moment. Maybe some stuff coming that we'll talk about at some point, but other than that, I've been watching a ton of movies this past week.
Last week too, you talked about that.
I've been ripping through movies. This past week, I watched Brokeback Mountain for the first time. You know, I'd never seen that movie before.
How did you like it?
I actually really liked it. It was like the acting was really good in it. Yeah. And I'm surprised and kind of saddened at myself that I hadn't watched it before.
Not funny, but I was watching Brokeback Mountain in 2011, December 2011. And I remember it vividly because I was watching with my friend Jeff, and I was living in Woodstock, and I had applied for a job in Fort St. John, BC. And in the middle of that movie, I got the call from Fort St. John offering me the job.
Oh, man.
So it was I was watching Brokeback Mountain, and then had this like pivotal life change announced to me. Kind of crazy, eh?
That is kind of crazy. Yeah. No, I really liked the movie. It was actually very like the shots were amazing. Like the acting was so good. It was amazing movie.
I'm going to come to this podcast. So here's a review of a 13-year-old movie.
Listen, I also watched a movie called Unstoppable, which I'd never heard of before. It's got Denzel Washington. He's a train engineer. It's amazing. That's anyway.
Cool. Did you see the new Happy Gilmore to it?
I did. It was not great.
Oh, I loved it.
As for nostalgia reasons, I liked it. But once I took the nostalgia piece out, it was not a good movie.
Why? Like, I guess I have this whole thing about movies is like, they make so few of them now, and they're all kind of the same, and they're usually superhero movies.
They make thousands of movies a year.
Not the same way they used to.
Not that you're watching.
No, not the same way they used to. The theater release movies are a lot of like takeoffs on old things, sequels, movie star movies, not a lot of like rom-coms or just movies to watch, popcorn flicks for the sake of.
I don't watch movie theater movies to watch like for the entertainment value of them. Like I'm watching indie movies. A lot of new movies I watch are indie movies that aren't in theaters.
Right, that you're watching in your comfort of your home. And this came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
But some movies, they don't have to be groundbreaking. They don't have to be great. The nostalgia value was enough for me to really enjoy it. It made me laugh. It had some heart. There are a lot of crazy cameos. And was it the best movie I've ever seen? No. Will I watch it again? Probably not.
So then it's not a good movie.
Why not? I watched it once, enjoyed it. That's 2 hours of my life that I had a great time.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's an okay movie. If you thought you had a good time, it's an okay movie. It's a movie. If it's a movie that either didn't move you, like, or that you're like, I want to watch that again, I wouldn't say it's a good movie. I would say it's an okay movie. But I'm a movie nerd, so that's me.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm looking for 2 hours of entertainment, and I thought I didn't waste my time, and that was good enough for me. But I appreciate I enjoy the mediocre. That's why I like you so much.
Oh, thanks. Speaking of mediocre, let's talk about our topic today. All right.
You know, Isaiah, we've established that this is episode 150 something.
Oh God, 100. Oh no, sorry, I lied. It's 100, only 125.
This is episode 125. This is 125 weeks of this, and I'm not gonna lie. After the Crystal Beach show and staying up till 4 a.m., the topics are kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, if I'm being honest. So we're looking at the positive sides of being larger, because we talk a lot about the risks and the negatives and, you know, the trials and tribulations. But like with anything, there are positive sides of it. And I was thinking we could brand it as a top 5 or 7 or 9 or 10, but I haven't come up with a list. So like at the end, we'll call it the top 7.
Okay.
Good things about being overweight.
So why don't you start? Give me one positive.
One of them is like strength, because you're so used to carting around your own size. I have incredibly strong legs. My arms are strong, albeit, you know, joints kind of break down sometimes, but I am incredibly strong, and not just emotionally. And that does come in handy, and that I wouldn't be this, like, you couldn't all the squats in the world wouldn't lead to the strength that you have just by existing in a large frame.
That is true. It is like lifting 300 plus pounds every single day, walking it around. So you are correct. That is definitely a positive thing. When you need that strength, it's there.
Yeah. And like, you know, I remember this is awful, but like, you and I, you know, I lost that 40 pounds recently. That's like a big giant bag of potatoes.
Yeah.
And can you imagine just adding a giant bag of potatoes to your body and walking around? Like, that's crazy. And that's just what you support. And you can take, and for me, that translates to anytime I return to a gym program or anything like that after being away.
Yeah.
And I feel like kind of down on myself, and like the cardio is not great, and like everything is kind of really hard. It was always nice to come back and be like, well, at least I can lift.
True.
So it was some like early reward.
Yeah. You're not
any kind of journey. That's why this last time was really challenging, because of the joint pain stuff. But whatever. I digress. What about you? Do you have one?
I think that there is a positivity in the way, like, a lot of people, like, we talk a lot of people about people negatively perceiving us, but there's also a kind of a positive connotation that people have as well sometimes, that, and it can go either way, like that you are typically seen as a more happy person. I mean, it's sometimes a mask, but
yeah. And I think with us, we actually are outwardly happy people. So I think with us, it may be the weight, but it also may just be us.
Yeah. I mean, it does mean that you have to have a certain usually have a certain personality to like get through life.
And to add on to that same point, it also, right or wrong, deems you as a safe person. Like, I've never had issues. Like, if I like, this is a different thing, but you know, if you're friends with somebody of the opposite sex, platonically, of course, and in a heteronormative, you know, situation, but I don't want to belabor this too much, but if I've had lots of friends that are dudes in my life, that there's certainly nothing extracurricular going on with that. It's just a platonic friendship. And I've never been faced with like jealousy of their partners or anything like that, to my knowledge. I certainly haven't felt anything, usually been embraced. And part of that I think is because I'm not a non-threatening person. My weight makes me non-threatening in that way. And also I think I have some moral standards, and I think that's clear usually.
Sure, definitely. I think that you're on the right track on that one. Yeah, no, for sure. What other positive things you got going on over there?
Oh, What else? What other positive things? Lately in the whole body positivity movement, you know, and we've talked about that. There's some positives and negatives with that, but it has like, you know, it helps you build a bit of a community, and that community, and you can kind of, you could easily identify each other. And it's so nice to have that kind of support online and that kind of thing. And I guess anything that makes you part of something, regardless of what it is, does breed some positivity.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think it gives you there's a sense of belonging to certain groups like that. It does help that the those words, body positivity. Why couldn't I that anyway? Movement has helped gain a bigger community of people that are plus size, that are working towards, you know, accepting your body as you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And that helps, like any kind of community thing does. It helps anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. That's brilliant, Caitlin.
I think there are definitely other positive sides. Like I think a big thing is that, you know, people move out my way. When I'm in a crowd, people move out my way. It for better or worse. I mean, I see it as a positive thing that when I'm walking in a crowd, people don't typically stand in my way.
That's an interesting thing, because that doesn't necessarily happen to me as much.
Well,
and I like, that's awesome, and I'm super glad for you. But I'm always very self-conscious of the amount of space that I take up in a crowd, and so I always try to like make myself really small. But this could be a very much a man-woman thing too.
That too. Yeah, I mean, I am typically, when I'm in a crowd, conscious of like how much space I take up. But like when I'm like, okay, we're gonna move, I'm like, all right, get behind me and let's go.
I'm clearing the path. Another positive is not that I would end up in many situations anyway, but people don't like generally get aggressive with me, particularly other females, because of the aforementioned strength and stature. I tend to be able to ward off any kind of untoward behavior in a bar situation. Or, I mean, I'm also in my 40s now, so it doesn't happen as frequently as it may have when I was in my 20s, but people are trying to like throw down anymore in front of me. But that has been a thing where like I've been able to very successfully avoid aggressive situations.
I am sort of yes and no. I mean, my attitude kind of staves off that, but there are people that at first will try to be aggressive towards me because they're typically short little men who see me as a threat to them because I'm a bigger man than them. Yeah. And so they think, oh, I'll take this big guy and I'll get more respect.
And a better man usually.
But usually my demeanor typically diffuses stuff real fast.
Yeah, so. And mine too, to that point.
But it does attract a short men syndrome towards me sometimes.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, in the winter, it's kind of a positive. I don't get cold. Do you get cold in the winter?
Well, yeah.
Do you? I do, but like I don't get as cold as.
I don't run hot like a lot of larger people do. I run, I would say, pretty average.
I run furnace temperature.
Okay.
Constantly.
But that's also that I keep you warm. Like I yes, that's a good one. One I was just thinking of is when people complain about not enough padding on a seat. I'm like, oh, I've got my own.
Nah, my butt does not have as much padding as the rest of me.
As mine. I think mine makes me a full 2 inches taller when I sit down.
Oh gosh.
This episode is not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Oh God. Oh, but yeah, no. I mean, there are. I'm sure there's more positives. I just can't think off the top of my head at the moment.
Yeah, if only somebody had given you any kind of notice or preparation for this, that we could have like prepared a list. But like
instead, they decided to hang out at Crystal Beach and do a show
and show up an hour late to record this podcast. Who would do that?
I don't know. Professionals over here.
Yeah,
we are professionals.
We're super professional.
Oh goodness, but yeah, no, I think that there are definitely positives, and I think to each their own kind of positive. There's definitely things that like for instance, the crowd thing. I move out my way pretty fast when I'm in a crowd and I'm walking towards you. But I think that's kind of like an individualized thing. And everyone has their own individual positivities on what they gain out of it. And I think sometimes we focus so much on the negative that sometimes we need to sit back and think about those positives.
Well, it's always good to think about positive things. Like I spent, this is unrelated, but I spent the last, we talked about this on the last episode, but the month of July, like sending out these pump up my friends July messages. And
I feel like you are still doing that. I feel like I've seen like 2 or 3 more.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
They just keep cycling through the news feeds as they get likes and, the algorithm. The algorithm. But it was, it really put my head in the right spot every morning when I was putting those together. It just like, it was really nice to think about people positively and like put that out into the universe early in the day. And when I came toward the end of it, I did get a little bit nervous that I was leaving people out and things like that. But overall, like what a positive experience. And I guess even with this, it's like, I still want to lose weight. I still want to make things better, but it's nice to be at least aware that there are some there's always there, not to sound too like ridiculously optimistic, but there really is positive in just about everything.
True.
And it's important to acknowledge it, not to say it's the be all and end all, and not to say like, well, this is super positive, we shouldn't try to better ourselves or anything like that, but it's nice to acknowledge what's there as we're working through any kind of journey.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely being positive when you can. There's just so much negativity in the world that you can be positive at any point in time. It's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I say we wrap this episode up. Where can people find you on the internet?
They can find us at Kate and Isaiah Living Large on the Facebooks. And where can people find you? Maritime Brews.
You know it, at Maritime Brews on all of the social medias. My Tweak the Profits kind of died off. I don't really post there anymore. But if you're over there and you see it, you want to follow that, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can always donate to us at Buy Me a Coffee. The QR code will be on the screen at some point here. And of course, if you are listening on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, if you can like, share, subscribe over there, or if you want to see our beautiful faces on YouTube, you can hop on over and check us out on YouTube.
And one more thing before we go, I wanted to give a special shout out to someone who I know listens to this every week, and we've never shouted out before. In the spirit of positivity,
oh yeah,
shout out to Melvin.
Oh yeah, nice. Shout out to Melvin.
Somehow,
if he got to this far,
very sheepishly being shy about this, but I'm so thankful for him.
Yes, I am thankful for Melvin and all of our
fans. I mean, our listeners,
all of our listeners and fans. But until next week,
bye.